Right guys, so in this video let's get an introduction to the compressor, which is another very important effect which you use during mixing. The compressor will usually be added after the EQ, and its primary job is to basically balance your track. So as you can see in a track like this, if I play it, you see these words or this note is a bit soft, right? I probably ran out of breath and stuff like that. So here on the other hand, and there was a sort of an annoying spike there. So either due to maybe slightly faulty vocal technique, or maybe due to a vocalist putting in too much of emotion or too much of dynamics into his or her performance, sometimes when it comes to the mix, what we then want to do is sort of balance things out, because vocals are not the only thing in the song. There's a lot of other elements as well, so you want to balance things out. So the compressor usually will then come into the party by controlling the gain or controlling the volume of the track over time. So how it will basically work, the track will have a certain threshold volume which you set, maybe this level or maybe something lower, and any time the volume crosses this threshold, which could be something here, you're going to compress or you're going to reduce the track from the time or any point which crosses the threshold. So you need to set the threshold, and then anything below the threshold will not really affect the compressor. The compressor won't do much if it's below the threshold. If it's above the threshold, it's going to attenuate or compress the signal by a certain ratio, which we are going to again set. Okay, so let's say if you have a ratio like 4:1, that means it's going to attenuate it such that any time the signal goes 4 dB, 4 decibels above the threshold, it's going to make it 1 dB. It's going to reduce it by 3 dB and make it 1 dB. So let's open up a compressor and see how things work. Hit effects as always. Now I have an effect already here, right? And what do? We add another one. So you can hit add, go to the default, all plugins, caucus, open the recomp, which is a compressor. At first glance it looks a bit weird, but you will get the idea. I'll just go through the basic settings. So what you want to first do is set the threshold and initiate a ratio. So the ratio usually for vocals will be nice if you set like a 4:1 kind of a deal. And now you're setting a compressor to activate itself. So anytime it crosses the threshold, it's going to attenuate the signal with respect to the ratio. So let's play this back and see what we have. Yeah, so right now if you see by this meter, nothing has really crossed the threshold. So I need to bring the threshold level down. And when you bring the threshold level down, you'll see that it's being attenuated. It's being compressed. And this is the compression amount. You see, only when the loud notes come, this particular meter shows up. Okay, let's open that again. See, it did not compress this because this is well below the threshold. So I would say a lot more balanced than maybe this option without the compressor. Especially these sort of things. Even though you felt a volume spike, it's sort of balanced. So let me drop it a bit. That's a lot more balanced. So now what's also happening is the volume of the whole track is coming down because we are compressing all the loud parts and leaving the softer parts as they were. Right? So what I want to do is play, sorry, that was before and this is after. So after is a lot softer than before. So what you want to do is balance the gain. That you can do here in the output mix. You can just increase the wet so that it sort of is the same level. So you don't use the compressor to kind of get a volume boost. You use it just to control gain. Yeah, I guess this is good. Yeah, so you could play with that. You also have settings like attack and release, so you can control that as well. Attack is the time taken for the compressor to start. So I guess somewhere here would work well. Another option you could do is start off with a couple of presets. You could go to maybe modern vocal and see how that works. Quite nice. So it's essentially the threshold, the ratio, the attack, the release, and then balancing the gain with the wet knob. Okay, so that's an introduction to compression. Hope you guys found that useful.